No matter what good is going on at Microsoft and with Xbox, there always seems to be something negative that pops up, and I know this because I see it on the gaming sites, I see it on social media. There is this unmitigated level of hate and biased nature against Xbox, and I say that 100% honestly, and I don't believe I'm wrong in the slightest when I say that. It is 100% factual. Okay, Microsoft could never get away with the things that Nintendo and Sony get away with. So yeah, 100% sad to say that this is really, really happening, and people need to be made aware of it. Especially when you see stuff like this crop up. I, for one, get tired of seeing the negativity. I try to be as positive as I can, but let's just be real. It makes it incredibly difficult to be positive for these type of things with everything that's kind of going on, and we continually see sort of the hate train continue to just keep smacking and smacking and smacking, and it's really unfortunate. I think Microsoft has really changed their stripes, and they're trying incredibly hard. So when you see stuff like this come up, and the funny thing is when it comes to Game Pass, it's such a great service that when you see something rare that comes up where somebody doesn't like it, a developer or whatever, it's such a rarity, yet the fanboys of PlayStation will flock to it as a gotcha moment, right? So there could be a million developers that all love Game Pass, and the minute that one developer is like, well, it hurts sales, it's potentially this or that, everybody jumps to that one and ignores the million, right? It's so crazy. So the Somerville dev talks about how Game Pass hurt game sales for their game. Dino Patty, the co-founder of Playdead and Jumpship, has revealed that Xbox Game Pass hurt the studio's sales for Somerville. According to an interview by Video Games SI, when Patty first founded Jumpship, the studio originally pitched the game to Google Stadia, but ended up partnering with Microsoft to have its game launch on Game Pass. Well, I can tell you right now, the game did much better on Game Pass than it would have ever done on Stadia, mister. In the interview, Patty states how the deal was good, but they also believe it may have hurt their sales by saying, I also think it hurts sales because a lot of people just go in and try it and they don't invest. If they don't like the first 10 minutes, that's it. Also, if you don't make the first 10 minutes amazing, maybe it's also a problem. I think Game Pass is okay. It's not my favorite. My favorite is the old premium model, where I sell you on some video on big images and earn your $30, and then after that, I have to deliver. I don't need to get your money out of you later. Listen, basically he's saying he's mad because he would rather sell you on some fake promises, have you buy the game for $30, and then he has your $30, right? As opposed to Game Pass, where people can try the game as part of their subscription, and if it sucks balls, they could just stop playing it and not feel like anything's ventured or lost. And I think that is probably his biggest deal. Now, I've never played Somerville, but I can imagine that any game that's in Game Pass, for the most part, probably will cannibalize sales, especially for bigger games. I think that's a given. And before you throw that old Phil Spencer quote at me that, Game Pass actually helps sales, keep in mind that was from 2017, and things have changed mightily since then. You have 30 million people that have a subscription, and of course, if you're a big AAA game, it's probably going to cannibalize some sales. This aligns with what was previously said about Game Pass potentially hurting sales for certain games, but still hasn't stopped developers from working with Microsoft. Mike Rose, the founder of No More Robots, told GameSpot that they've had to sell better. They've had their games sell better when they're on or just leaving Game Pass, but at the same time, it has also seen zero change in the sales they were getting before or after. Rose said that the biggest problem with Xbox Game Pass eating sales is that it's difficult to tell how many copies the game could sell on Xbox if it didn't launch in Game Pass in the first place. So again, you have these types of situations that come up, and people are always going to bring these up. How many positive sales and positive stories have we heard about Game Pass? I know for a fact Microsoft has admitted that over $2.5 billion in royalties have been paid out to indie developers, right, for Game Pass and things like that. So, again, when you see that people are like one person Or, you know, you might see the odd person out of how many that have come out and praised Game Pass and said, hey, that's great, we love it, it's this or this or this, and it really helps our game to be seen. I think we're really kind of starting to see, you know, when people are out there kind of saying this kind of stuff about Game Pass, I think it's really kind of unfortunate. And, you know, at the end of the day, Microsoft, they can only do so much. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't really make it drink, unfortunately. And I think that, you know, Microsoft has done a fairly good job at making sure that games are readily available, and there's a super big variety of games. And nobody is forced into Game Pass, by the way. That's the funny thing, right? Like people think that other developers are forced into Game Pass when that's not the case at all. You know, a lot of developers like launching into Game Pass because, like I said, you have that high install base. You have 30 million people that can actively play your game if they want to. That's an unbelievable perk to these people, I'm sure. Yeah, it might not get as many copies sold, but I still think overall we're seeing like this has actually been a tremendous thing and a big asset to gamers everywhere. So yeah, I think that's cool. I think that you know, that Microsoft is on the right path here. Is everything going to be perfect? Probably not. But is Microsoft doing a lot of the good things here? Absolutely. Like anybody that thinks otherwise, I don't really know what to say, because you know what? We're living in a world where more and more people are looking for deals like this. You know, this is what has to happen. This is the type of deals that have to happen. These are the type of gaming things that we need to see more of. People want to get more bang for their buck. Games prices are rising. The console prices are rising. The cost of everything is going up, up, up. And yet, you know, people are still complaining that, hey, I didn't make my money when this game was in Game Pass, or we could have sold a few more. It's hard to say. But I know for a fact, like some games like this, and to be honest, I've never even heard of this game. Maybe at a glance or something, I've heard of it. But you know, for me personally, you know, you still have to have a decent game for me to want to play it. So this guy either didn't have a hook for his game or didn't have a good enough reason for me to play his game yet, and that's, I think, sort of unfortunate. But you know, at the same time, the fact that he's saying anything bad about Microsoft really just goes to show you that, hey, guess what? That hate is going to continue to be a thing. And, you know, I hope that people start to sort of see through this stuff, because, you know, Microsoft, like I said, they try very hard. You know, they clearly aren't going to always be, you know, the number one company or anything like that. But it's like, even when Microsoft says the stuff that, you know, people want to hear, it always gets twisted into some kind of hate or some kind of nonsense. You know, like, oh, Microsoft's throwing in the towel. Oh, it's all over, you know. It even goes back to the Xbox One X days, right? Like, the funniest things used to happen back in those days, right? When that was about to launch, there was articles and stuff like IGN. You're forced to download 4K content if you buy an Xbox One X. Well, yeah, we're buying an Xbox One X to be able to play 4K content. So yeah, it makes sense. Like, no doy, you know, but they made it sound like such a bad thing. And, you know, that's so unfortunate to me, because Microsoft really has so much going for itself. And, you know, fans don't even understand what it's like to have such a great company like that do such positive things for you. So anyway, what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's unfortunate that everybody seems to be piling on Xbox lately? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content. I'm the Crap Gamer. This has been Crap Gamer Reviews. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.